All right, everyone. Today we're going to look at NEGG stock, Newegg Commerce. And remember, the point of these videos is I intentionally know almost nothing about these stocks, and I go on a journey of discovery with you. And I always like to do a few different things. I like to look at the current valuation, the latest earnings report, and then kind of a few other random things, whether that be insider buying or shares outstanding, short interest, PEG ratio, ROC ratio, whatever it may be. So I kind of like to look at all those things, and then I'll give you guys something new to learn about. So this is NEGG, and I think this guy's a let's see, it'll just tell us global online retailer for PC hardware, consumer electronics, gaming peripherals, home appliances, automotive, and lifestyle technology. Okay, so business e-commerce needs. So let's look at their latest earnings here that they released at the end of April. So you can see the net sales has gone up, has grown. Looks like, however, the cost of sales has grown right alongside it. But the gross profit still did grow just a little bit. And then you can see that the selling, looks like they have it all lumped up. G&A, selling, everything else expenses, took away all of the gross profit to where they have a loss of about 10 million for the quarter, which improved quite a bit year over year, actually. Then they have a lot of interest, income, and expense, telling you that they probably have a lot of cash and probably some debt as well. And then they got some other income here. I wonder what that is. Looks like it's kind of recurring, but gets them to where they're almost to break even. So that's interesting. So definitely it's still growing, mature business. Margins are slowly getting better. You're almost at break even here. Let's look at the statement of cash flows real quick because I want to check. Where is it? Oh, look at this. Okay, no, it's empty. So no repurchasing any stock. They've repaid some credit. No repayments of debt. And then there's a little bit of stock options and payments for stock compensation, but it's very minor, not enough to really note anything. But this is what I wanted to see. Proceeds from issuance of common stock at the market offering, so about 35 million. So they got 35 million from issuing stock, which isn't terrible, but that is some dilution. So noted. But then I want to check the balance sheet. Let's see. They have a cash runway that'll allow them to have a cash runway of years. We'll see how the debt affects that, but lots of cash. Let's just check for the debt here real quick. I know they have some because they had some interest expense. But I'm not seeing any here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. I wonder what this interest expense came from. But we'll double check that on MSN. But yeah, I'm not seeing any debt here, actually. Am I blind? Yeah, no. Huh, well, yeah, so solid cash position. Lots of cash burn. A cash runway. So, yeah, they're kind of right at break even. So that, I'm not seeing any alarms there. I'm seeing a company that's improving, getting some margins, has a healthy balance sheet, a little bit of dilution, but not a ton. And yeah, so let's look at the valuation now. And we can see right off the bat, this 20 million shares outstanding, that's pretty low. That's really low. Below 50 million is pretty good. So the reason why that's interesting is because the lower that number is, the less volume you need to move a stock. And on top of that, the market cap is 520 million. Granted, they're not really making any money right now. But, I wouldn't consider that, I guess you could consider that expensive, but low share outstanding cap, and we know they don't really need to dilute much more. So that's interesting. Let's check a few other metrics. I want to just see what this AI says. I don't think this AI right here does a very good job at, summarizing this. I don't know, maybe it does, but okay. I just want to see the price to sells. I just want to see the price to sells, brother. Which sometimes it has it here, sometimes it doesn't. I don't think any of this. I'm not super interested in any of this. It is comparing like forecasts here, but I'm not seeing a price to sales ratio. I might have to get that out of Chat GPT. Let's just see. What is the price to sales ratio for NEGG stock, and how does it compare to peers? Um, yeah, this isn't looking crazy. Yeah, value to low margin retail businesses, which to be fair, it does have a low gross margin. Um, so I think that's fair. What is this counter argument that NEGG has inconsistent profitability? We'll check that here in a bit. Negative or else dilution from rising share. This is minimal dilution. And very small public float, which we talked about that. That is what this is. Where'd you go? Yeah, this shares outstanding, 21 million. And it's probably, I don't know how much of that is part of the free float. So pretty low float. All right. According to this, they're saying that the net profit was inconsistent. And I think that's true. They did have a big improvement from 2024 to 2025. The sales, what the heck, had a massive growth from 2020 to 2021. COVID. Must have been COVID stuff. Down, and it's been down ever since that time. Down, but it grew again in 2025, so alright. Yeah, gross profit is kind of, yeah, I'm seeing from 2024 to 2025 was a good year for NEGG. That's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, improving metrics across the board. So, yeah, very tight gross margin. But yeah, it's been going down since COVID era, but it did have a 2025. It looks like it's maybe getting better. So that is interesting. I just want to look at that chart real quick. Look at the chart. Yeah, look at this. Yep, as things start improving, it kind of had a turn because it basically did nothing. Here's COVID era, LOL. And now it's kind of coming back a little bit. Yeah, but man, look at this. Just relentless downside. Okay. Let's look at a few other things. I want to see. The first time that I ever heard about the stock was on a short interest tracker. Like the um total rate or how expensive the interest being charged to short the stock was at like 800%. So if you were shorting the stock, you had to pay 800% in fees on this thing. This was months ago. It's not longer. What is the short interest on NEGG stock? Oh, almost nothing. Yeah, almost nothing. Um, uh, yeah, very tiny tradable float and unusual share structure dynamics. So low float. So not a lot. Interesting. Not a lot of shorting. Have insiders been buying stock? Yo, check that out. July 2025 bought 12 million at $29. This is around that time when NEGG is starting to turn around. Purchases 37 million worth. Holy cow. Nothing in 2026 so far. These were open market purchases, which investors are viewed more positively than stock grants or option awards. Buyers were already large holders, increasing what they had. Insider ownership is fairly high for NEGG, around the low 20% range. Dang. Dang, that's interesting. Holy cow. What is the PEG? Well, it's not really going to have a PEG. Well, PEG ratio of NEGG. They don't really make money, so yeah. I wanted to ask it anyways. Yeah, this is not the best thing to see. I want to see. Um, ask one more question. What is the institutional on NEGG? Okay. Oh, look at that, guys. They look at almost institutions almost don't really hold any at all. So this is insiders and retail that own a lot of this. Yeah, retail and insider. Hmm. Yeah, interesting. Huh. Down 20% in the past 5 days. Probably related to the earnings, I would guess. Um, but huh. So if you've been in this stock or you've been following it for a while, you're a veteran of it. Feel free to let me know what I'm missing or what else people could consider or think about. But I think this is a very interesting stock. This one's a little different. Um, I think probably for me the most interesting part about it is this: their shares outstanding is very low. And to be fair, the fundamentals aren't terrible. I mean, it's not like they're burning gazillions of dollars and they have a balance sheet. So this is interesting, and the market cap's pretty small. So yeah, let me know what I'm missing, and I've really enjoyed looking at this stock. So I'll see you guys in the next.